Hello, you're welcome to this edition of My Liberation Gospel. Why our generation must abolish Osu caste system to achieve Biafra. Like I usually do, I'm going to still mix my local language, Igbo, with English, and so that my target audience can effectively understand me very well. This medium being the most gathered medium that many people are on. So many people are getting to be used to, you are literate or not, to communicate. And I want to speak about the Osu caste system in Igbo land. From time immemorial, this has been a part of the Igbo culture, but actually it has its attendant problems, and these problems are affecting in a very bad way the progress that the Igbos are making with regards to unity and achieving a common goal. So where do I start? I want you to share with me a story before I continue. This particular page is a light page. My page as a writer and author, so it's not my main page. I don't know why I can't make this live broadcast on my main page, but I'm gonna give a link as usual, so that people who are waiting for me, viewers who are waiting for me on the other page, can see that we have already started. Many don't know this page, so, and as such, they can't join us. But just bear with me for a moment as I just give a link out. So thank you for your patience. So I want to share a story with you. And this story is a story that is very important to me. A story over many years, and it has come to affect me as a human being. It affected my psyche, and this is why I think by the end of this particular edition, many of you listening to me will be affected positively in order to begin to change this mentality. When I was a kid, we lived in, sometimes I make reference to that, we lived in Eboma. Eboma, like I said, is on the fringes of southeast, on the border. Some of their brothers are Kit and Kin in River State, whereas majority are in Imo State. They are in Ohaji, Eboma local government, and the headquarters is Eboma. So when we lived there, my dad took us one day for a visit to a family friend in Obiapo. Then we used to live in Maho, and this Obiapo. Then we had moved from Aba Then Aba was created out of Old Imo State. I mean, Abia was created, and Aba found itself in Abia. So we had to move to our state of origin, which is Imo State. You know, some of the policies that the federal military government in Nigeria did to balkanize Igbo-speaking people. So we found ourselves in Eboma. My dad was transferred. So we visited this family friend, and this family friend, she told me as a kid a story. She told me a story, and fortunately, in that Obiao, when we visited, I saw a house. It was a house with mud plaster that with corrugated iron sheets, and my dad told me, you know what happened in this house? It was a very big mud house. I mean, it was a distribution that village, and what's left of it was sort of a relic. He said my grandfather lived in that house, and my grandfather worked in Eboma as a colonial court official. And you know what? This lady told me that my grandfather had saved them, had helped save them as twins, because twins were being killed during that time. You know, this used to be a culture in Igbo land. Our culture, and then that's Ababa Melaya. It came to be abolished. And those twins, one of them later married a former traditional ruler in Okuzi Eboma. And you know, we became ever close then, and things like that. Why did I bring this to the issue of Osu? How did Osu came about? Okay, our forefathers talked about killed twins before it was abolished, with campaigns from this Scottish missionary, Mary Celeste, and it took roots. And the advent of Christianity, Osu caste system. Many of us don't even understand the meaning of this Osu, despite the fact that many have carried this practice, this caste system on. They don't really understand the issue about Osu. So I decided to delve research, and I've always been a curious person. So I delve research on this Osu. From my time as a child, I've monitored what happens, communities, and one way or the other, I have been affected with this issue about my people. When I was in, I've told you just this story as a child. I witnessed. Then I had this story. I had this experience when I went to do my when I went to do my apostolic work. When I left the junior seminary at a very little age of 16, 17, I had issues in Umunoha in Mbitolu. I had issues whereby the mass servers, the mass server association I inherited, there was segregation. That some of my mass servers were Osu, so they will not be allowed to serve mass, and I had to disband the mass server association. And many of them were bigger than me. Some of them were as old as being my father. Then, so I had to disband the organization and set up a new one. I asked everyone to apply if you want to serve mass. So by doing so, I decided to build a new mass server organization, which had no segregation in it, whether you are from any, as long as you're that parish, St. Paul's Parish, Omona, you are under it. Everyone is equal. That's the second story. Then, most of us have don't really know why Christianity spread, and because of the fact that not everybody knows the history of the spread of Christianity. not only the revolt of revolt of Martin Luther at the doors of Wittenberg, his thesis. There are many things. There are one of the reasons why Christianity spread was the fact that Christianity presented something that everybody wanted. During the time of early missionaries, there was segregation. There was what we call maybe social stratification, a class society, a society whereby a society that is classed, the nobles, the ordinary. But Christianity came on and presented a clear platform for everyone. It presented a platform for everyone. As long as you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, you are saved. It's no longer maybe you are a top person in the society or you're not a top person in the society. That everybody is equal. Christianity is all about equality. Forget about the doctrines of man, church doctrines. People are placing doctrines on their churches. The attraction of Christianity is that everybody is equal before God. And that is how it is. If you do research, whatever people want to preach, that man is not equal. No. We are created in his own image. And the biblical account of the creation of man tallies, unlike scientists' account that there was a big bang and all these Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, and Homo habilis. So everybody is equal. This is this Osu system is one issue that the Igbos have gotten wrong up to this age, and our generation must correct these anomalies. Yes, there was I thought there was before independence, I think in May or on May 10th, 1956, there was an edict. 61 years ago, there was an edict in Eastern House of Assembly that abolished slavery, that abolished the Osu caste system, whereby if you call somebody Osu, you go in for it. But unfortunately, the Igbos now took it out from the public glare and made it underground. They made it underground. They brought it underground in the sense that nobody now talks about it, but it is inherent in many communities. Some communities have tried to abolish it, whereas many haven't. If you come to Imo State, where I come from, especially Owerri, I'm from Oboshishi, Omogoma, Owerri West. So, in my place, it's something serious. It is something serious in the sense that in Imo State, there are parts of Imo State until recently, if an Osu comes to the market and has a product to sell, nobody will buy the product from the person. There have been cases in our place. When I was a kid, I used to read papers a lot. I used to read because my parents are civil servants, so they brought newspapers every day. Statesman, I remember from the age of 4, I started reading newspapers. So it afforded me a lot of information about my communities as young as I was. I remember then, I can't remember the particular year, there was a time an overhead water tank was installed in a town called Efakala, and the entire town refused to drink water from that overhead tank because of the place the tank was situated, and many other issues like that. When we talk about Osu, we have these classes of Osu in Igbo land: the Osu, the Uhu, and the Ume. I don't want to start explaining these things But this needs research. You can research about it. This can be an issue for historical research or things to teach the upcoming generations. But why do generally the reasons for this also? Why that some people were sacrificed to the gods? I mean, 90-something% of Igbos are Christians, and we are talking about the God. I'm not saying that we don't have traditionalists. We do. But if you do your research very well, you see that many of the reasons that made some people attack Osu, Uhu, or Ume are flimsy reasons. Some of them are cock-up allegations. We've seen how humanity can be bad, or human beings can be bad. My people say, na uche wa ba onye ola nankeya, or obi wa ba onye ola nankeya. I mean, the heart is like a handbag. It is only the owner that knows what is inside it. Many of the people tagged Osu are not supposed to be. Many were false allegations. Many had to do things in order to go scot-free, not to be killed, and a lot of things. But why do we continue with this Osuka system when we profess Christianity, when we profess humanity, when we talk about unity? Why? Why do we keep preaching about our promised land? That we are we need our country whereby our talents can be harnessed. Why do we talk about marginalization when we are marginalizing ourselves? I mean, this broadcast, it will not go down well with some people, but the truth has to be told. This is very important because this is puncturing. This is one area that is puncturing the Igbo unity. But people are running away from it. Why do we run away from it? Yes, an edict, Eastern House of Assembly, abolished it in 1956. Did it work? Is it working? What they had to do is to take it off, sorry, from the public glare to underground. It is still very strong. Yes, I commend many communities that are beginning to think about this to abolish it. But most communities in Igbo land still practice this Osuka system. And this is one area that is touching the Igbo unity. Because many are sabotaging this issue of realization of Biafra. Because they're saying, is it getting a Republic of Biafra where you will now cement this form of social stratification, social marginalization, saying some people are freeborn, whereas other people are born caste, the second citizens. It can't happen. We must begin to speak about this. And how do we speak about it? Because it's not about speaking about it. It's about putting structures that will totally abolish it. We have churches everywhere. We profess to be Christians, majority, yet pastors, priests, evangelists, children of God, humanists, activists, leaders who are supposed to be role models, who are supposed to disperse messages of truth, who are supposed to make sure that the people practice the true living of the light, are not saying it. You are running away from it. You are shying away from it. So a message just came to me to talk about this, because there are things that are hindering us as Ndi Igbo. There are things that are hindering our progress. There are things that are hindering us from getting to where we are going. This Osu caste system, the disadvantage or disadvantages are enormous. There are many things. It is helping us to count our loss. The losses are many. There are too many. One, many Osus are marrying on non-Igbos. Non-Igbos are happening on this. You see, many of our beautiful girls, they're getting married to foreigners. Not only girls, many of our guys too. Good guys, rich guys, talented guys, and girls too. They are marrying foreigners. What is supposed to be circulating within our nation is going off. Some of them are being used to sabotage our efforts. Some of them are being used against us. And I mean, where love and charity abound, there God is found. When we talk about love, it is who gives you love you will appreciate. Why we want to opt out of Nigeria is because Nigeria is not giving us that love. Despite our commitment to Nigeria, despite our service to Nigeria, despite our contributions and our genuineness to nation building, peace, prosperity. So if you are Osu and somebody from another land gives you that love, gives you what your people have been denying you, why won't you cash in on it? Why won't you? So, my people, kedu ihe kpatara anyị ji buru akụkọ Osu a asịkwala, Ohu asịkwala, Ume asịkwala, bubata into this generation, they deny our people. I get mentioned with Osu. You befriend and Osu and Ohu. You have relationship with the person, you do many things, you will even have sex with the person. You see the person as your brother and your brother or sister. Share everything the same culture, the same everything. Then uruzie na marriage. Abekora gi na onye awu Osu, na onye awu Ohu, na onye awu Ume. This thing has caused serious harm than good. And man is a spiritual force. Man is a spiritual being. Man is a spiritual, because God created us in his own image. Some of the things I now suffer. Here our nena nani meta. Mana, under the bad, I guess no. It shall not continue. All the very important now this generation, because one, we can't forge a robust nation. All nine want this thing because our talents are running away. Our good ones are leaving the shores. How they mix up other places. Other people are taking advantage of this. We cannot talk of a Biafra for all when I now marginalize our people. So this is one of my key points. My vision of a Biafra is a country, Gao, a country for everybody. As long as you're in a bambo. Bambo. We cannot talk of a Republic of Biafra without totally abolishing this Osuka system and Ononishi. It's no longer a thing of law because already there's a law abolishing it in 1956. on May 10th. So people instead will gather underground, will gather in issues about marriage, illusion and marriages, and some things, rural community. Yeah, all age need reorientation, and I think the young people need amount to serious pressure because our parents, when you want to get when you want to marry, and why it is working because of certain aspect of our culture. One, Igemenego one. One. Your parents will not may not escort you. And as most parents will not live to pay a dowry of your proposed wife or received your proposed fiancé. Let's use the word fiancé. And culture for a maiden, for a girl to believe that she's truly married, for a girl to have that social standing in the society, na anoria megoya, una community of the groom, biara megowan, imegowan. You know how important it is in the Igbo culture, and it does a lot of things to social standing. So Abia who go that place. You see our parents, the community, they are this very, very strong. It's phenomenal. So this is something I get put serious pressure. We cannot talk of Biafra without totally abolishing the Osuka system. Abolish here in our heads. Again, with serious, massive campaign. Because the community, some of the things in the past were share. So they did good and they were there, and then they were good. It will not form our culture. Before Anebu twins. Before Anebu twins. It was abomination to have twins in the land. My name is Chamaya abolish. Today, there were twins everywhere. I'm even a proud father of twins. I will not before. I got Mibu Jidofo na Chineke bineli wenyem. So we cannot talk of Biafra without abolishing this Osuka system. Or the very important. I abolish it. Many towns have gone that way by abolishing it. It happened in Nnewi, I think 23 years ago, by Igwe Kenneth Orizu, the third. Igwe Nnewi abolished it 23 years ago. In many places in Anambra State, it's been abolished. About the very strong, where it is strong is Imo State, where I come from over and legitimate to annoy. And this is very bad. So we, the new generation, we cannot be talking about equity, how laying a solid foundation for the future of our children without touching these key things. And this is one of my vision for Biafra. Leaving our important children to slip away from our hands. Anyaga bankete. Anya na-alụ sidi. Na-alụ ndị na-ahụ ndị Igbo. Ụmụ nwoke anya na-alụ ndị na-ahụ ndị Igbo. Talents anyị, ụmụaka Chineke ji chọọ anyị mma, nwechara ụbụrụ, ga-emere anyị ihe n'ụrụ anyị ihe dị egwu. Anaga other nations are na-ewere. Some abịa obodo Igbo ha na-alazi. Because the community, ihe niile ha mechara n'obodo Igbo, ihe niile ha wụchara, big people ha wụchara, ha contribute to many countries, their economies and so. Ha bata na be ha, a na-akparị ha enweghị ọnụ. they cannot contribute. Some communities are actually only usu echichi. I say no woman, woman, yeah, or is woman. Oh, wash it. In that man made things. Oh, in here, many of them became osu, ume, and oh, through our, through her joy and nobody. So we must stand up against these things. It's very, very important to stand up against these things. Because if we don't stand up against these things, we cannot go to equity. He who goes to equity goes with clean hands. So, a few community, here I could say a massive campaign. Because the spirits of these people na do achianyas, on na do achianyas. And I got through marriages, and I deny that some people will sue. And then a community, some people don't want to know because of how will sue. And I some of them chief. I don't know here. Some people. I've had this things, and we'll go on this information firsthand. That some people, I saw these things. I saw it no more when I was doing my apostolic work. So I said, no, enough is enough. I said, if you are against this, you will not belong to the Masterverse Association. I don't want to see you. Some of them left, but I built up a new organization. Man, still, I'm under that community, not study their culture. Una, yes, this is very strong in that place. The way it is strong in my region. So we need to start talking about these things. Yeah, emergency divorce. It discovers the marriage about living heartbreaks. So na asina heriti ha na ha ala ha na ihe ha ga-eji dị ndụ ihe ha ga-eji nyere onwe ha aka ihe ha ga-eji nyere dia generations aka abịa achụla ha one side si na ha ga-arụ n'akụkụ ahịa or n'akụkụ shrine, and we say we are Christians. Anyị asị na anyị wụ ụmụ Chineke, anyị asị na anyị chọrọ ihe dị mma, anyị asị na anyị chọrọ, anyị asị na a na-emegbu anyị n'obodo ala Nigeria, then anyị na-emegbu some of our brothers and sisters. Maka na anyị ga-akwụrịrị n'ikpe jiri eji. Anyị ga-akwụrịrị n'ikpe jiri eji, ma anyị akwụghị n'ikpe jiri eji. Anyị agaghị enweta ihe anyị na-achọ. Ma anyị akwụghị n'ikpe jiri eji, ọ ga-enye ezigbo nsogbu. Because I need our brothers and sisters. I need her. I know a lot of intelligent people. Our people be that cast here. Now again, other people are okay. Yeah, because I happen in here the Republic of Biafra. I never make it over. I cannot allow that to happen. In an imagined blueprint for a robust keep quiet, this thing, and I continue. So what is good for the goose is equally good for the gander. We cannot come to equity without clean hands. In the law, see, ubi juice, ibi remedium. So, yeah, a spiritual issue. Yeah, it's more of law, because already there's a law governing that manner. I need to break down some of these barriers, and breaking down is mounting serious pressure on certain aspect of our culture, especially when it comes to marriages, and I touch a key point on our unity. Touch. So, Euro, us is God, because some of us they will not offend some potters. No, this is where you get me wrong. No matter who you are, even if you are my friend or my, as long as something, I must say it out. And this is one point we need to sort in order to a republic. Here and a brutal division, serious division, not an outward thing, but not inside. Game. May marginalized our own kids and kin. As this an aspect of our culture, I and then when key, Utesha Melaya, time comes. We have to rise, sort of this issue. And put you on a pin, do it for research books. Then the positive aspect of our culture, for it. I lay down a solid blueprint. So this is my message for today. Psychologically, socially, should go with this. Nwere onwe ha ịchọrọ ka nwe ụkọchukwu gị nwawo onye ntụziaka gị nwawo gị nwawo nwanyị ga-eti maka na Chukwu abịama Chineke nọ n'eluigwe na-akwụnye onye aka ya dị ọcha, onye ọla aka ya dị ọcha Chineke na-akwụnyere ya. So spread this message. If you like this message, send it across. Tag all those people who are against Usu, who said that there's Usu, and even those who said there's no Usu, they keep denying it, whereas it exists. All those hypocrites, and you, that is a. We cannot talk about going to the promised land without carrying everybody along. My name is Okachuku Okori. I am a native of Oboshishi, Omogoma, West. God bless you.